This is 3-step blueprint to acing your interviews every single time. And I'm so excited that you've actually taken this step towards making a change in your career. I'm Melanie L. Denny, your career empowerment coach, and I have a deep desire and purpose to empower dissatisfied working professionals who feel stuck in a job they hate to see beyond the limits of their current situation and gain the confidence and tools they need to create a rewarding, fulfilling career they absolutely love. Now, let's dive right in. The first step is just to think about the interview as it's just a meeting, which it is. It's just a meeting. Far too many times, job seekers are going into this interview with the thought of it's an interview. What's an interview? Interview is really an interrogation. It's just a bunch of questions. And that's really not what the interview should be. A job interview is really just a meeting to discuss the role and how you could fit into the organization. That's all it is. Now, once you realize that that's all it is, the way you approach the interview changes. Right now, you probably think of the interview as a negative thing, right? You walk in, you're anxious, your palms are sweaty, you're nervous, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to expect. It's going to be a disaster. And it is a disaster because you go in there already with a negative tone. And so you start to stutter, right? And you start to sweat and you ramble and you're really not confident about what you're saying. You don't know how to answer the questions. It's just an all out fail. Okay, so the first step is really to change your thoughts, change your perception about what an interview is, and really go into the interview knowing that you are the right person for the job, right? Think about the fact that this is just an opportunity for you to talk about yourself and to show why you're awesome. Okay, so it's not just about a bunch of questions at you, an interrogation. Where were you the night of, August 15th? It's really about how can you help us? And once you know that, you'll be so much more confident and just prepared and ready for any question that they have to ask. Which brings us to our second step of be yourself and know your value. Now, what I mean by that is knowing your value is about understanding what's in it for them. What's in it for the company? Why would they hire you? What's the benefits that you bring? And so knowing your value and going in there with that already in your mind, then you're able to approach the interview with so much more poise and confidence because you know these are the benefits that I'm able to bring to you, and this is why I'm the best candidate for the job. Now, you have to do this, and you also need to be yourself while you're doing it, right? Because really, you want them to like you, right? Nobody's going to hire someone that they don't like. So you need to be likable, but you need to be yourself. And I say this because sometimes we kind of become this person that you think they want you to be, and it's not really you being authentic, okay? And then you keep up this persona and then you get hired, and then sooner or later the persona is going to fade. You're going to be yourself, and people are going to think, wow, she's really changed. Or you keep up the persona and you're miserable because you're not yourself, because you become this person that they want you to be, and that's really not who you are. And so if they don't like who you are, it's not a good fit. Okay, so just move on. Move on to the next company and see if they're a good fit. And it's important to be yourself, just because who wants to walk around being someone else? You're not going to perform at your best if you're pretending to be something that you're not. And so be yourself and they'll like you. And if they don't like who you are, again, move on. So the third step is really start working before you're even hired. What a concept. Now, in this step, what I mean is in the interview, what you're going to do is you're going to find out their challenges. you're going to make sure you ask this one question. If you don't ask anything else, you're going to say, so tell me, what are the biggest challenges that you're facing right now? If they're a little vague or they don't really answer the question, I want you to probe. I need you to get this answer. This is so important, and it's really the key here in really acing this interview, because you're going to turn around and you're going to give a little bit of how you can help them with that. Give a little story about how you had a similar situation, but really the kicker is in the follow-up. In the follow-up, you're not just going to write a regular thank you note. Oh, thank you so much for your time. I'm so interested in the opportunity and I'm excited to get started. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody does that. Everybody says that. You're going to be different because you're going to start working. What you are going to do is you are going to create a plan, a 90-day plan on how you're going to get hired, get started, and help them to alleviate their challenges in the first 90 days. And you're going to be specific and you're going to be detailed, but you're not going to be long-winded, right? You're going to keep it short and to the point, and this is really going to get you in the door. Think about it. If you were hiring for a position and someone turned around and their thank you note was really a proposal on how to help make things better for you and your job, wouldn't you be impressed? I would be impressed. And so this is really the number one kicker on how you're going to stand out and get hired. As a bonus, the fourth step is really asking good questions. A lot of times, the interviewer says, oh, do you have any questions for me? And we kind of say, well, the traditional, well, what's your training process like? Or what's the next step in the process? Blah, blah, blah. Again, you want to ask good questions. You want to ask questions about the company and where they're going. You want to understand their culture. You want to get to know the person. You ask about them. Hey, how long have you been working here? What's the best part about working here for you? Or you can find out, well, what is your management style? Or do you guys have an open door policy? Things like that will help you understand if this is a good fit for you, so you don't get stuck in a job that you really hate, or the culture is just not conducive for what you believe in. And so make sure you ask a lot of good, really good questions. Okay, I actually have a free book that I'm willing to give to you as an additional bonus, just as a thank you for listening to me and listening to this recording. Now, if you want the book, all you have to do is send an email to melanie@melanie.com. I'm sorry, melanie@melaniedenny.com. I got a little excited there. And just say, put in the subject something like, please send me the interview question book, or it's called 90 good questions to ask in an interview. And so you can just email me and request that, and I'll shoot it right back to you, and I'm happy to do so. Anything it takes to help you ace those interviews. So I just want to say at this point, thank you so much for listening. I hope that I've given you a lot of great information that you can use right now to ace your interviews every single time. Again, this is Melanie L. Denny, your career empowerment coach. If you want to get in touch with me, or you would like me to help guide you a little bit more into the interview process, give me a ring, shoot me an email. Email again is melanie@melaniedenny.com. If you really like a more in-depth consultation, you can also go to careerplanningwithmelanie.com, and there's a quick form for you to fill out, so I get to know more information about you before we speak, and I can help you to really take charge of your career. Okay, and then again, that's careerplanningwithmelanie.com. Thank you again, and I hope to hear from you soon.